Hello Toy Collector fans, Universal Toy Collector here and welcome to the channel. Join me today as I go through my top 5 6-inch Black Series 40th Anniversary Return of the Jedi card backs. Alrighty then, so this top 5 video will follow in the same lines as the top 5 Star Wars card backs and the top 5 Empire Strikes Back card backs, where it's the standard line figures only, no deluxe and no exclusive figure card backs. The only difference being between this video and the other two videos is that I found it really difficult to choose a top 5. However, I have found it relatively easy to find my so-called worst of the bunch. Anyhow, let's take a closer look and see who we've got to choose from. 2 seconds. Okay then, so just like the previous two videos, this video is based on the top 5 card backs only and has nothing to do with the figures. And within the Return of the Jedi line, there are 15 card backs to choose from, starting with the Stormtrooper, Darth Vader, R2-D2, Bib Fortuna, Chewbacca, Lando Calrissian, Skiff Guard Disguise, Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight, Emperor's Royal Guard, the Emperor, Han Solo Endor, Princess Leia Endor, Biker Scout, Wicket, and lastly, Paplu. Okay then, so what I'm going to do is, like the first two videos, I'm going to start with my honourable mention, then crack on with my top 5 in no particular order, then finish off with my worst of the bunch. Okay then, so as you can see, my honourable mention goes to the Stormtrooper, and the image on this card back is exactly the same as the image on the 40th Anniversary Star Wars card back. The reason this one stood out for me in this line is simply because I love the red of the name peel, I love the red background, and the Stormtrooper, being predominantly white, really does stand out and pop on that card back. Now, the image isn't the greatest of images, I have to say. It didn't make my honourable mention or top 5 in the Star Wars card backs. But this was a really, really tough choice because I looked at the others as an honourable mention and there was nothing there that I really sort of liked apart from the top 5 card backs. Look, they're all classic card backs. But, you know, this one stood out for me amongst the others for the honourable mention. Anyhow, so that's the Stormtrooper, my honourable mention. Let's crack on in no particular order with my top 5 card backs. So then, kicking the top 5 off, we have Darth Vader on this remarkably stunning card back. I'm loving this image. It was a favourite of mine as a kid. It's a variant image and it's nice to see different images as opposed to the image on the Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back card backs. Yeah, loving it. A close-up of Darth Vader pointing his finger, standing on the Death Star hangar. Now, I'm liking the yellow name peel. I'm also liking the yellow background. Vader being in black really does make him pop on the card. So pretty awesome, liking that. In the top corner then, and it'll be the same for all the others, you've got the 40th Anniversary logo for Return of the Jedi. The only bugbear for this card back is the fact that the Return of the Jedi badge isn't central to the card. And that's simply because this bubble is so big. But then again, you've got to fit in the accessories and whatnot. But yeah, other than that, a great image, a great card back, and yeah, that is the first. So let's crack on with card back number 2 in the top 5. Up next then, we are showing a little bit of Wookiee love or Wookiee appreciation with this Chewbacca card back. And I've got to say, absolutely awesome. Loving the image. A variant image, so totally different from the standard image that you get with Chewbacca on the Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back card backs. Hence the reason why it's in my top 5 for Return of the Jedi. Loving it. Absolutely awesome. A cool close-up. Again, Loving the colour of the yellow on the name pill and behind the figure, really making Chewie pop at the front of the card back there. Again, another bugbear of mine is the fact that the bubble is so big, simply because he's so tall, that the Star Wars Return of the Jedi logo at the top isn't central to the racetrack around the edge there. But other than that, an absolute storming card back. Let's go and see who's number 3. So my third pick then goes to Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight, and what an iconic image this is. Absolutely fantastic, and I'm sure it would have been in most people's top 5s, if not their number 1. But as I'm not doing it in any particular order, I've just got it as third choice here. But yeah, absolute awesome. In Jabba's palace, facing off against Jabba, you've got all his goons in the background. Just the lighting, everything looks absolutely stunning. The green name pill, the green background, again, contrasting so well with Luke Skywalker in the bubble. But the bubble is the issue again. It's blocking out his blaster. You can't see the full image like you could do back in the 80s. So it is such a shame that they make these bubbles so big. And they're supposed to be saving on plastic. Unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, look, Han Solo didn't make it into my top 5 for Star Wars simply because the bubble was too big. You couldn't see the full image. But as I've said, this was a really tough choice to pick my top 5. And this is just a standout card. Absolute fantastic card. So yeah, that is my third choice, or third pick, should I say, for my top 5. Let's go and see the fourth pick. Alrighty then, so my fourth pick goes to the Emperor's Royal Guard. And what can I say about this card back? Just absolutely fantastic. Really does pop. The Emperor's Royal Guard, the colour of him himself just really stands out on the card back. The figure in the bubble in red just looks absolutely terrific. Just, again, contrasting really well against the blue background. Loving it. The name pill, central. The Star Wars Return of the Jedi logo, central. Just absolute quality. Loving this card back. It was one of my favourites as a kid, and it's still one of my favourites today. Hence the reason it's in my top 5. So yeah, and I don't know what it is about these Imperial card backs. I mean, it was the same with the Empire Strikes Back, where you had the Snowtrooper and the close-up of the AT-AT driver. There's just something about them. They look absolutely fantastic. I mean, character-wise, didn't really do much. Didn't really see him in action. But as a card back, just absolutely terrific. Loving this. Really stands out to me. And red is my favourite colour anyway. So, yeah, awesome stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Right, enough of that. Let's crack on and see who's my fifth pick. So my final pick then of the top 5 goes to the Biker Scout, and why not? Well, why not indeed? What an awesome looking image this is. Absolutely stunning in my opinion. Such a classic look as well. The Biker Scout sitting there on top of the speeder bike in front of the bunker on Endor. I'm loving the green name pill. Again, I'm loving the green background, really making the figure pop. The Star Wars logo is central. The Biker Scout is central, the name pill. And I'm loving the fact that they've got Biker Scout. Now, in TVC, I know they've got one where it says Scout Trooper. Yes, technically, he's a Scout Trooper. But back in 1983, he was known as a Biker Scout. So I think it's absolutely awesome that they've stuck with the classic name of Biker Scout for this card back. For me, this is probably one of the most perfect card backs I think you'll find in any of the waves. So yeah, really, really liking that. Awesome stuff. So that is the end of my top 5. Let's crack on and find out who the worst of the bunch was. Okay then, so my worst of the bunch goes to R2-D2, and the reason being is because simply it's a Return of the Jedi card back with an image from The Empire Strikes Back on it. Now, I know Kenner did that a lot in the day when you had a figure from Star Wars and they kept the same card back as it crossed over onto the Empire Strikes Back film. But, you know, there must have been so many different images they could have used of R2-D2 from the film Return of the Jedi. R2 was in Jabba's palace. He was on the sail barge. Crikey, he was even on Endor. So they could have used any number of images for this card back. And like I said previously with the Chewbacca and the Darth Vader, I like a bit of variation. It's nice to see that action figure on a card back representing that film with an image from the film. And to me, it just smacks of laziness. Now, I know they did it a lot, like I said, but it's just lazy. And that is the reason why R2-D2, for me, is the worst of this bunch for Return of the Jedi. Anyhow, so that is my honourable mention. That is my top 5. And that is my worst of the bunch. I'm going to get my top 5 in front of us right now and see the video out. 2 seconds. Image. And with Darth Vader and Chewbacca, these two variant images are what sets them apart from the images that you see on the Star Wars card backs and the Empire Strikes Back card backs. Just my opinion. Then we have Luke Skywalker in that iconic image. What a fantastic card back that is. Just absolutely stunning. Again, I'm sure that will be in most people's top 5 without a doubt. And then you have the eye-catching Emperor's Royal Guard. Loving the red. A real standout colour. So that is why that stands out for me. Absolutely fantastic. Then you have another iconic image of the Biker Scout sitting atop the speeder bike outside the bunker on the moon of Endor with the name peel Biker Scout. Absolute classic. Fantastic. Again, this is just my opinion. So if you guys have got any different picks in your top 5, then feel free to leave them in the comments below. But yeah, I've really struggled with the Return of the Jedi card backs. I'm not saying that the others were really poor, because in my opinion, the card backs from the 70s and the 80s from Star Wars, Empire and Jedi, all classic card backs in my opinion. But these are the ones that stand out the most for me. And personally, just going forward, I think Black Series as a whole couldn't do any wrong by giving the figures these types of card backs. I just think that would be absolutely fantastic if every single standard Black Series figure came on a card back like this. Pretty much like the TVC. Now, I know people will say, but we're sick and tired of the packaging changing. And I get that. I totally get that. Because people aren't going to want to spend money on different packaging for the same figure. I totally understand that. Maybe Black Series should have gone down that route in the first place. Who knows? Any case, I don't work for Kenner. And just as well, because I would have changed up lots of things. Because, anyway, I'm not going to get into that. This is about card backs. So, I hope you enjoyed this series. I've enjoyed doing it. Like I say, this one's been a struggle. It was a bit easier with the Star Wars card backs and Empire Strikes Back card backs. But, nonetheless, here are my top 5. Anyhow, I'm just bloody waffling now. So what I'm going to do is end the video. So if you are new to the channel, feel free to comment, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to let you know of more content. And as always, there will be more content. Thank you for watching. I very much appreciate your support. Thank you so much. It does mean a lot. Take care, stay safe, and see you in the next video. And the links to the Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back top 5 card backs will be put in the description below to this video. Take care and see you soon.